Welcome to School Report, a glimpse into the classrooms of St. Lucie County Public Schools. School Report provides the opportunity to share with the community academic and extracurricular activities of students in our schools. And now, here is School Report.
I am a kid at heart.
I am talented, smart, and capable of success. I have dreams of the future, and I have plans to reach those goals and dreams every day.
Good afternoon, and welcome to all our dignitaries, Superintendent Chet, Mrs. Hensel, School Board Chairperson, Dr. Mills, and Vice Mayor Bartz, students, staff, friends, families, and Holocaust survivors. Today, we are here to commemorate the people who died during the Holocaust and honor the survivors of the Holocaust. For those who do not know, the Holocaust was a horrifying time period when Nazis tried to exterminate the Jews. They did this by destroying synagogues and towns, stripping them of their property, and dehumanizing them. In total, 11 million people died. 6 million Jews, 5 million others such as gypsies, Jehovah's Witnesses, people with disabilities, and anyone who opposed the government. And 1.5 million were children. In Ms. Madero's classes, we have studied the history of the Holocaust. We read Norman Frojman's memoirs and Henny Gallo's story as a class. We also viewed an interview of Mr. Frojman. Then, every student was assigned a survivor from a book called Childhood Lost, edited by Zelda Marbell Fuchsman, Judith Even Goldstein, and Freda Jaffe. And in the book, We Remember the Children, edited by Jack Salzman and Zelda Marbell Fuchsman. We then wrote down notes and created thinking maps on each of our assigned survivors. With that information, we created dioramas representing their stories and identification cards detailing their stories. Many may ask, why did we do all this? Well, it is to commemorate the brave people in the Holocaust and teach the people of today that all humans deserve to live in peace and safety. The Holocaust cannot happen again, and it should never be forgotten. We, the entire 6th grade team, pledge to teach others about the Holocaust, and we promise to never forget. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremiah. I also want to welcome our very special guest. If you will stand up, Superintendent Gent. School Board Chairperson, Mrs. Hensley. Our very own Vice Mayor, Ms. Bartz. School Board Member, Dr. Mills. And of course, we are honored to have all our Holocaust survivors with us. We also have very special guests sitting at the front here. They're friends of Holocaust survivors, family members, Dr. Mills' husband. Hello. Thank you for joining us. If there are any parents or friends, thank you for coming. This is a very exciting time for all of us. This is history in the making. Where are you going to find 30 Holocaust survivors in one place? We thank God that they're here, and we are blessed and honored to have their presence with us. Our students, like Jeremiah said, have studied their biographies, Not only have they studied their biographies, they made projects, they made critical thinking maps, they made flow maps. I mean, they've written essays, they've written poems. I mean, they've done so many things. They love Norman because, I mean, I talk so much about my friend Norman Froshman. Now, people ask me, why is it that I do this? Why are you so passionate about this? Well, for me, I've been teaching for 20-some years, and I used to teach about the Holocaust. But it was until 4.5 years ago when I met this very special man, my friend Norman Froshman, that my whole life was turned around. Because this is no longer just a unit of study for me. This is my passion, this is my mission in life. Because, as you can all see, they're elderly. You know, one of these days, in 20 years, we're not gonna have any more survivors in our midst. So my purpose and my goal is for you to be the witnesses. So when somebody says, that never happened, you can say, you know what, you are a liar. I met them, I touched them, I read their biographies, and this is what I know today, right? So we pledge as a team. We pledge to never forget. Do we pledge to never forget? Yes. Do we? Yes. Okay. I am going to introduce to you, you know you've been waiting for him, our friend Norman Froshman.
Honored guests, Mr. Gent, Ms. Mills, Ms. Bart, Ms. Hensley, their friends, and all assembled guests, primarily my dearest, dearest friend under the sun, Ms. Belkey Madera. Give it up for her. I really am privileged to spend some time with you. It became my favorite place and a highlight of the year to just be with you, my dear friends. I know that we're coming here to reminisce about the greatest tragedy that befell us, namely the Holocaust. And we really, truly want to prepare the young people as to what not to do, to fall into that trap. I mention whenever I go to schools that there's a four-letter word that we just simply have to cross out of our dictionary, never use it again. And that word is hate. It was the cause of all problems, but it is so replaceable by another four-letter word, and that word is love. My dear friends, embrace that. Now, for the 4th year, we are honored and delighted to get together with you and you wonderful students. It's a pleasure for us survivors to be among you young faces and see a future generation that will care for each other regardless of race, religion, or any other differences. The United States was established by pioneers who were escaping discrimination and oppression. And I want to just add something to that. We survivors never had a feeling really of freedom. I know for me personally, when I came to these wonderful shores of the United States, it's for the first time in my life that I tasted and encountered freedom. Never before did I have it. Persecution was for years in my entire childhood, and suddenly I come into a land that I feel like every morning getting up and just kissing the earth, the ground that I am on, how privileged I am to be in this wonderful country. It is a God-given gift. We survivors, after a most horrible childhood, found a haven, a shelter here, where we could rebuild our lives and families. Even though we escaped our suffering, lives to settle here in the United States and became naturalized citizens, each one of us feels as if we were born here and take on the responsibility of being good citizens, as you will. We carry the message of freedom and justice for all, and you are here and will, as you are here and will. As many of you know my own survival story, and if not, you can learn about me and most of you visiting visitors in our 2 books, which we gifted to your school. We Remember the Children and Childhood Lost. It's in your library. When I look at you, my dear children, I have many emotions. I see in you my own young years. Just when my life as I knew it and my family became victims of an evil, murderous blight, the Nazis. Yes, we not only lost our childhood years, but also our families. So you might ask, why do I, or we, want to speak of our own suffering and so often? And that is because I want to make sure that you, each one of you, do not encounter and suffer such evil that happened to us during the Second World War. I hope that this will never happen and never encounter these situations. I know that you will build a better and safer world for all people. I want to tell you who you are and what do you mean to us. You are our emissaries and the carriers of goodwill for the future. As you could see, we survivors are aging, and who knows how much longer we're going to be here. But we have to leave a legacy for the younger generation that this catastrophe does not repeat itself. When I go to schools, students are always prepared to say thank you to me after I get through speaking. But I turned around. The thanks out to you young people. We are so thankful for you giving us an opportunity to speak and to try and create a better world for you. This is our aim in life. This is our legacy. I see it in your bright faces, a determination to be better people for yourself and for all. We love you, and this country of ours, the United States of America, which gave me a home where I rebuilt my life and my family. Thank you. I want you to remember to walk on a path of acceptance, kindness, and please erase hate and bullyism from your deeds, vocabulary, and from your heart. Thank you so very, very much for hosting. Thank you.
I would like to ask Zelda Fuchsman to come up. She will be introducing you to the rest of the survivors.
I second the thank you that you are here with us to remember. I also want you to know you're not meeting survivors, you're meeting child survivors. We are the last witnesses. So after us, there won't be us. We're honored to be with you. And I want you to meet some of our survivors that really, it's a difficult trip, both physically and emotionally. You read her story in Childhood Lost. A little girl in Russia, on the run, survived the Stalingrad bombardment. And here she is. She's very proud to be an American girl. Vera Bialer. Vera is out of Hungary. A little child, a toddler, experienced bombings, hiding in many places, and hidden by a priest. Good people did the right thing. Marvin Fiddler. His story is in the book too. You can read it further. A little boy, 10 years old, he learned how to see evil and stifle his cries. He was hidden by good people in Belarus. Leah Fluss, that beautiful blonde over there. A 6-year-old little girl born in Poland, experienced all deprivations and horror. Her family survived on the run and found safety in Russia. Now, just in case you don't know Norman Frudgman, well, here he is, Norman Frudgman. A 10-year-old little boy survived the Warsaw Ghetto and the uprising, Majdanek, and many other killing camps. Nina Frisch. Now, her story is also in Childhood Lost. What an amazing little girl of about 8 years old finally found a hiding place in a bunker under a house a Polish man hid 31 Jews for 1 year. How would you like to sit in a bunker for a year? That's Nina Frisch. Herschel Fuchsman, stand up and turn around. A 6-year-old little boy spent over 8 months, maybe 9 months if I'm not correct, under the Nazi occupation. They escaped and survived in Siberia. Extended family were murdered. Me, Zelda Fuchsman, I was 4 years old, on the run from Poland, and survived Siberia. The family that we left behind were murdered in the pits. Penny Galel, a beloved little girl, a child 3 years old, experienced the war with all its deprivations after seeking ways to escape the killers. They found safety and survived in Siberia and Kazakhstan. Herman Haller. Herman, you're all the way in the back. What a very nice man. He was born in Germany, not you, Sam, Herman, I didn't call your name yet. He was born in Germany where the Nazi war against the Jews made life dangerous and difficult. Herman experienced grueling labor camps, concentration camps, and Auschwitz, where he was tattooed. In case we have time, you could take a look at his tattoo. Hardly a living skeleton, he was liberated by the American Army. Herman Goering. Now here we have Michelle Jaffa. A little boy out of France. He was hidden outside of Paris. His father was murdered in Auschwitz, and he does not know where his mother died or how. This wonderful woman that saved him, she said, I didn't do anything so special, but she did the right thing. Thank you. Bronya Kahani, where are you? There she is. Out of Poland, 8 years old, experienced the brutality of the ghetto, escaped the killers by passing as a Ukrainian little girl. And if she would have been found out that she's not Ukrainian, even the local people, not the Nazis, would have killed her. Genya Kaplan, where are you? There she is. Lithuania, a baby survivor from a ghetto. Some of the family escaped and survived in the forest with the partisans. Partisans were like the guerrilla fighters. And many Jews, not many enough, survived like that, living in bunkers underground. Abe Meisner, a young boy in Poland. He survived many concentration camps and labor camps, and he has an unusual tattoo, the letter KL on his hand rather than tattoo on the arm. The only other tattoos that were done was like his and Herman Haller was out of Auschwitz, but he was from a different camp. And this is Abe Meisner, our child survivor. Tova Rabunski, out of Hungary, a baby survivor, lost most of her family in Auschwitz, survived by hiding in the forest and with the help of kind non-Jews. They did it because it was the right thing to do. You notice my message, the right thing to do. Thank you. Now here is Sam Schleider. Sam, a little boy, he was hidden in a hole with 8 other Jews for 18 months. He didn't see the sun. He was only 5 years old at that time, out of Poland. Thank you, Sam. Marcel Spiegler. Marcel Spiegler, where are you? Marcel? There you are. Romania, a young boy deported to the ghettos of Ukraine and experienced hardships and evil beyond belief. Do you notice? Yes, go ahead. Do you notice all the countries that I'm mentioning? Erica Spindel. Austria, a little girl, just hardly a toddler. She saw Hitler's entrance during the Anschluss takeover of Austria in his motorcar parade out of her window in Vienna. They endured many hardships, but were able to escape to a place where was another ghetto concentration camp, and that was in Shanghai, but they were saved there. Ora Stuck. Ora out of Romania, right? Am I right? Again, a little baby child survivor, hidden, survived. Franz Zatz. Can you imagine a little girl, 8 years old, surviving the Warsaw Ghetto, on the run, take on a non-Jewish identity, and was saved by good Polish people. She saw and experienced the evil and horror of the war. And so, as you look at us here, possibly less than 30, we are the symbol that only 8% of the Jewish children of all of Europe survived. Oh, Joseph Henner, forgive me, Joe, forgive me. Sorry. I didn't have him on the list originally, and he came to the bus. Forgive me, Joe. You know I would never forget you. His story is in the book. You could read about him. He's out of Germany, wound up in Shanghai also. And a wonderful man. So what I want for you to understand, these are the countries of Jewish people of Europe. Only about 8% survived. 8%. So let's pretend we're 200 here. Only 16 of you would have survived. That is the story of the Holocaust. We are the child survivors. All right. All the paperwork that I've done and I left out one of the most important little beautiful babies. If you look in the book, Childhood Lost, you'll see Basha McDonald, how her daddy is kissing her on the lips as he's holding her in the arms. In ghettos, in hiding, on the run. This is Basha McDonald out of Poland.
We really want to thank all of you. I mean, it is a trek coming all the way down from Boynton or Boca. Some of you are in Boca, some of you in Boynton, West Palm Beach. Thank you so much for joining us every year. I know that it's getting even more difficult for you to come up here, but we really, really do appreciate all of you. So thank you so much. Yeah. At this time, I know you guys, you love to clap, but let's hold up the clapping for a second. Thank you. I know you're excited. But at this time, Mr. Froshman has some things that he wants to give out. He has some gifts. Not for you. I really appreciate your patience. And I know that you're excited. And I hope those of you who read the biographies of some of the people who actually are here, who read a biography from somebody that's up here right now? Raise your hand. Well, all my students should have their hands raised because you read not only your person, but you read Norman's memoirs and you read Henny's story, right? Henny, where are you? Henny Galel. Stand up again, Henny. Okay, thank you. You read the stories and my homeroom actually created books about her life. So Norman, I'll give this to you again.
I just want to share with you a few minor details. How all this here came about, how it started. Very innocently. I was privileged to accompany a group of teachers to Washington, D.C. And luckily, I had the privilege, really, to meet your teacher, Mrs. Madera. And we got to talking, we walked through the museum there, explaining what some Holocaust momentums were. And suddenly she says to me, that I ordered some books through the Florida University, and I have to wait a whole month for the delivery, and then they're going to loan it. And I says, what is the name of the book? She mentioned it, and this is the book that we came up with. And I says, Belkis, there is no more wait. The minute I came back to Florida, to Boynton Beach, immediately a set of class books went out to your school. And then she kind of started to work at it. And I received phone calls, come and see what these kids created. I says, my goodness, look, I'm at the other end of the world. Where am I going to go and look at that? Finally, she says, look, I'm going to pick you up and bring you back. And that was really the sticking point of everything. I says, a woman wants to come and pick me up. Let me see what it's about. And my wife, of course, who's my GPS, she's my driver. And we also took our vice president of our organization, Zelda Fuchsman, and we ventured out to see what nothing looks like. All of a sudden, we come into Oak Hammock. And my dear friends, I have been speaking on the circuits, the Holocaust circuits, for over 30 years. Never, never, never have I encountered this beautiful surprise that I had found at your school. You are absolutely magnificent. And this is how I can describe it. And especially your wonderful teacher and the faculty of this school. This school is heading for a national museum for what you young people have created. We will see and work very hard that it becomes such. And if so, as usually, you're going to be very outstanding. When we come into this school, we feel that everybody's person is filled with warmth and heart for us survivors to be welcomed and to be received. For that, enormously, I thank each and every one of you, especially my friend, Mrs. Madera, and the teachers of your school, and may God bless you. Thank you. We're just reminded that we owe a debt of gratitude to an organization that is down our way, in West Palm Beach, and they work very diligently to make sure that all the needs, financial and moral and anything that has got to do with the history of the Holocaust, they help us out immensely. And the name of this organization is Insight. Would you kindly give them a hand of applause, please? Thank you. This is inside talk I have, that's private stuff. Well, we are honored to present a book to Mr. Gent. I don't know if Mr. Gent is kind enough to receive this. Thank you so very, very much. Ms. Dana Mills. The book. Yes. And we have this for the Honorable Vice Mayor, Ms. Linda Bartz. Thank you for honoring us by being here. Thank you. And last but not least, we have Ms. Catherine Hensley, School Board Chairperson, Music and Mental Health, Thank you. And most of all, I must thank the city of Port St. Lucie for giving us this warm receipt here. We are just, the minute we cross the borderline of this town, we know we are home. Although it takes us an hour to get back, but we kind of manage with that. So anyway, again, our hearts are with you. We wish you the very, very best that the future will hold. And kindly, if you be kind enough and invite us next year, we'll be more than happy to come and visit you, and good luck. Bye-bye. Yes, is Ms. Denora Gomez here? Ms. Gomez?
I want to thank Ms. Gomez, because Ms. Gomez is the one that she made sure that you had lunch today.
It is indeed a pleasure, really, to present you with our books. It's the whole basis of the thing that we have at school here is based upon these two books. So happy reading, and thank you very, very, very much. I don't have to go to a restaurant today. You've done the job. I am full, I'm happy, I'm satisfied. Thank you.
I really do have to say that nobody understands except Zelda. Where's Zelda? How much work, Zelda, right, goes into planning this? And let me tell you, Ms. Gomez here, I mean, she's like an angel from heaven when it comes to like helping me out with lunch and making sure that, you know, she gets people to help. So I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your service. Even though our principal was not able to be here, hold on, Norman, because you do have this for a principal, but we have two assistant principals here, and Ms. Valdice and Ms. Thomas Dickey.
Set of books coming. Pleasure to present you with this here, please. And there's another set of books coming your way for the principal. Can you read it with us to help? Let us know if there's any criticism that we didn't do the right thing. Complain to Zelda, not to me. Okay? Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much on behalf of our administration and our school. Thank you for our gifts. Hello, everyone. And on behalf of Mrs. Wigginton, our principal here at Oakham at K-8, and our administration, and our teachers, faculty, and staff, we would like to thank our visitors for sharing their powerful stories today. Let's give them a large round of applause. Thank you. As we recall the pledge that we took with our visitors today, the theme throughout the day was to always remember what happened in the past so that we make sure that we do not repeat this again. And it's up to you, because we look to you as our future, as our visitors have emphasized that today. Myself, Ms. Valdice, our middle school assistant principal, and myself, Mrs. Thomas Dickey over elementary, we were completely in awe of all of you and your attentiveness to our speakers today. Thanks to you and the sacrifices you've made and your commitment to moving forward with your legacy, you have all brought to life the stories that our students read, and we thank you for that. Very powerful, very powerful. You have expressed your deep understanding of the trauma and the triumph that our visitors have lived, and that was displayed beautifully in your projects. And we were very impressed, right, Ms. Valheis, of the questions, the thought that you put into preparing your questions for our visitors today. So thank you again, and I will ask Ms. Valheis to come to the podium.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas-Dickey. We also definitely want to thank our visitors here from our community as well as St. Lucie County Schools. We want to thank our school board chairperson, Catherine Hensley, for being here, our school board member, Dr. Donna Mills, as well as our superintendent, Mr. Gent, and then finally our vice mayor from Port St. Lucie, Ms. Linda Bartz. So thank you for being here today. We definitely want to thank Ms. Madera for all of her work in leading up to this event, as well as today. I know that it was not an easy task to arrange for this, to have all of our visitors here today. So we definitely want to thank her for establishing this relationship, this partnership with our Holocaust survivors, because certainly our students were able to really to live the experiences today from our visitors. And sometimes that's not always found in the textbooks or through the classroom discussions, but actually being able to witness and to hear from our Holocaust survivors. So thank you to Ms. Madera, our amazing 6th grade social studies teacher. We certainly want to thank all of our 6th grade teachers for being here today with our students, allowing them the opportunity to experience this throughout the day as well as during this ceremony. So again, thank you to all of our 6th grade teachers. At this time, this does conclude our ceremony. Again, thank you for your attention.
Hello, my name is Jermo Cartagena. I'm an Osprey in OCAMIC K8 in Ms. Madera's classes. And today I was presenting as a speech for the Holocaust survivors. Today was a really great experience. For the first time ever, I get to meet one of the most important people who have survived the most important time, the Holocaust, a horrifying time period. It was a really great time to meet them, and they seemed really nice. They were really grateful with all the work that we've done, and I just wish that I could have more time with them. They are really great and really nice, and this has taught me a lot about how we all deserve to live in peace and safety. And this should never be forgotten. This should always be held in all your hearts. And thank God for having all these people here with us today. Thank you.
My name's Joel Brunson, and today we learned about the Holocaust survivors and their life story, and we got to meet them in person. It was just such a wonderful day. So emotional. It's just such a wonderful time to learn about what happened during their lives and where they've been. And today I got to walk around with them all through the school and got to let them speak to the smaller kids. And they kept on saying to me all day long that I'm like the gates to their future. I want to keep on bringing their life and about the Holocaust forward. And it's just wonderful.